Okay guys, welcome back to the channel, and we have a lot of news to break down. Yes, we had the release of the latest patch with seeing a huge nerf in the movement. Now in this game I actually jumped in. This is post patch, so we got a bit of a feel for it, and I'm super excited to see this. And to be honest, it felt really good. You'll see at the beginning of the video I kind of test out one or two little things. I get a few deaths, but I just wanted to have a feel in it. Look, if you are new or a returning viewer, hit the sub, hit the like, hit a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the latest patch on XDefiant. But I do want to go through a couple of things that has been released from Mark Rubin, and we're also just going to go through some of the community issues as well. There's been a lot of stuff, and I've seen kind of an altercation, if you want to call it that, from Mark Rubin and essentially someone who is a fan obviously of XDefiant, or a player of XDefiant. And in my opinion, it was a bit shit to see this happening for someone who is running the game, supporting the game, and has been more vocal than anybody from XDefiant, even though he's kind of the head director of XDefiant. But look, anyway, my overall thoughts on the latest patch, I'm super happy with it. I don't think it went overboard with the movement. I think I got a nice balance. Now that's me. If you are a big movement player and you felt maybe big changes, let me know. I'm not huge on the kind of bunny hopping or the jump sway. I don't spam it, but I think they found a nice balance. There will be obviously changes coming to that. There might be a little bit more of a buff to see how that kind of gets on, or maybe a debuff, who knows. But anyway, let's get into the big one. Basically, look, Mark puts out happy patch day. On a side note, there's been talks about controller exploit going around that allows players to report other players at a super high rate. Well, that myth is now busted, even though on the client side it looks like you are reporting over and over. In reality, on the back end, you only reported that player once. So if you have been spamming that, you don't need to spam it. Once will do. You're probably just clogging up their back end for no reason. So if you thought that is new. Then also people asked about the Delta 42 error. Mark does go on to say this is an issue we're absolutely actively trying to fix. I'll try give an update as soon as it is possible. So look at that Delta 42. I've suffered with it. I'm sure everybody has suffered with it. Let me know in the comments if you came across it and how maybe you got around it. But this has been a big problem within the game, and it seems like they're really looking to fix this as soon as possible. It must be very high up on the whiteboard. That's what they're calling their stuff, is the whiteboard. So happy to see that. It's probably pinned up at the top. It does need to get fixed, so we look forward to seeing that in the upcoming patches, or maybe hot fixes that come out. Also, people have asked, look at Marky, my bio seems like an Irish guy. Super proud to see this. Will there be any update on making the weapon skin cover all the gun, including the attachments? Would love to run certain builds. I love this reply. I hear you. We need to increase the quality of our cosmetics in general. We see people are willing to spend, but we need to give the people more worthwhile things to spend on, and we've been prioritizing making the game better first, knowing that if people love the game, then the monetization will come. This is huge. I'm happy to see that, because it is quite overpriced at the moment, and to have that response, that's just extremely encouraging. Look, we all know monetization is just a thing now. It just depends where you fall with it. I'm not going to dive into that. We do move on. Mark, when are we going to get game chat to talk to enemies between rounds and after matches? I want to have this in at some point. It's just a matter of priority right now. It's not a big thing. It is something people have asked for, but they are working on a lot of other things that are making more priority. The Delta 42 fix, hopefully working a little bit more on the netcode, working on a lot of back end stuff that would improve the overall game. So these are very promising things that we're seeing, and I'm super excited to see that they're actually working on the game and putting all the monetization things to the side right now. I will cover that in a little bit more detail later on in this video, so stick around for that. You'd be happy to see this. Also, thoughts on Bomb coming in season 1. We're hoping to get Bomb in the last patch, but it didn't make it, but it will be in for season 2. So literally the patch that was done out for actual season 1, we were supposed to get Bomb, and we didn't, because as we know, they're working on the spectating side of things. Kill cams will obviously come off the back of that once they get the spectating views right, and it's a hard thing for them to get. If that is a problem, the whole game mode is a problem, and they really know how much they are dependent, and the community is dependent on that game mode. It works across esports, it works across casual gaming, it works in ranked play. These are very important things that need to be done correctly. I know I want Bomb. I know the community wants Bomb. I know you guys who follow this channel want to see Bomb with the Search and Destroy in this game as soon as possible. But I would rather quality over quantity. Honestly, I really would, because I think that game mode is so vital to even bringing new players back and the satisfaction of the current players as well. I want them to get it right, and I want them to get it perfect, so there's no major issues outside of just maybe a couple of tweaks in terms of maybe the spawn, or there's going to be a couple of bugs that might slip through. It's not going to be the end of the world bugs, but if they rush it, we will have end of the world bugs, and we'll just get a bigger, heavier pushback on it. So now I want to push into this. This is the big one. Someone comes up to Mark, and new maps and modes before the netcode fixes derailed any momentum to the game. Mark goes on to say, not the same people. Netcode has always been worked on by engineers. Those engineers are not involved with making maps. Wish more people understood this. And then we do, and it's pretty lame cop-out. I'll allocate more resources instead of deflecting. How is that a lame cop-out? Genuinely want to know, because we have everyone who can work on netcode working on the netcode. For me, I just couldn't believe someone went down that road. Right now, this even gets even deeper, guys. I know this is from August 24th, but I wanted to bring it up because this is a big issue in the gaming industry as a whole. Like, people just want to, negativity just covers everything right now. I always say we cover the good, the bad, and the ugly. When it's time to go over the bad stuff, when the game is just not performing the way it should be, that's when you need to call it out. But when you are getting, you know, good feedback from the developers, good feedback from the studios, forward thinking from these type of people, you have to let them cook. And if they don't follow through on those promises, then you can kind of come back with your arguments. But like, just to see this, it's just really disgusting. This guy is an absolute idiot. I'm sorry, I just don't like this type of conversation towards someone who is extremely hard at work. And look, I do believe that the XDefiant team are working hard when Mark is in charge. Let's be honest, because I'm not going back on everything I said. When Mark has come back, they've been, you know, more forward thinking than just static. It also goes on to kind of look at, because you said it is players like they don't understand it. Again, it is and has been a serious issue. So why hasn't there been more resources allocated to what is clearly the number one issue plaguing the game? I totally understand that. And you keep saying allocate more resources like I have a magic wand and unlimited budget. The way the team works is that we have teams, cells, pods dedicated to different features, but when there is a major issue for something, we need that team to focus on. We create a strike team. A strike team is obviously someone who comes together and they focus solely on that. I just didn't expand that. You tell me you can't allocate resource and then explain strike teams to me, which does exactly that. Forming a strike team sounds like an awful like allocating resources. If you can't allocate resources, then what exactly is a strike team? I also understand things take time. Again, you don't have to mansplain, but if they take time, why is it recurring? We have an netcode fixes incoming, and then nothing really happens. Over promise, under deliver. Like just with this stuff, when people need to understand, when they say netcode fixes, it's not the whole problem. It's like what they're able to implement that doesn't break the game. So when they issue a fix for netcoding, it essentially says, okay, look at this small part of the netcode issue has now been resolved, and that is just small little pieces to the overall puzzle that they chip away at, because it's not going to take one patch to fix all. You know what I mean? We need to really understand that. But I just honestly think this type of conversation is just not needed. Mark does go on to defend his team and say, don't speak about my team, don't call my team out, because this guy just gets worse and worse and worse. And I don't think that's fair in anyone, to be really honest. People have a job to do and you have to let them do it. You can criticize them on that quality of that work when that work is complete. But guys, that is all from me. That's the good, the bad, and the ugly from the recent news from XDefiant. I'm super happy, as I said already, with the recent changes. I haven't seen a lot of issue around it right now, or just a lot of positivity. But as time goes on, we'll see how that gets on. And I appreciate it for checking this out. And I'll catch you on the next one.